since Gamecube took over the Mario Party franchise, I, among many others, have found the franchise to be not quite as good. I personally thought Mario Party 10 in particular was really awful on the Wii U. Super Mario Party and the Switch had really good mini-games, but there were only 4 boards and they were very small and uninteresting. Luckily, Mario Party Superstars, the latest release in the franchise, is among the series' best. Could it be the best Mario Party ever? It's honestly very possible. And please know, when I say just what the franchise needed, I don't actually mean like literally saving the franchise or anything. Super Mario Party has sold gangbusters and is in fact the highest selling Mario Party game ever. I mean saving as in getting older fans, such as myself, back into the franchise. The whole appeal of Mario Party Superstars is the fact that it's a greatest hits of sorts. It has 100 minigames total, which pull from the 10 mainline Mario Party games. Most of these minigames come from the Nintendo 64 and the Gamecube titles. The game also has 5 boards that hail from the 3 Nintendo 64 games. The gameplay itself in general is very heavily inspired by those damn Nintendo 64 games. The dice block itself even goes back to the 1 through 10 rolls, which in turn allows these boards to be much bigger and much more interesting. I guess the Super Mario Party was kind of interesting with the whole allies and specific character dice blocks, but it's nice for the franchise to go back to its roots. It's what the fans have been clamoring for after all. Everybody should know the basic gameplay, right? Everyone moves around the board via a dice roll. The dice are numbered from 1 through 10. After everybody moves, a minigame will commence. With the exception of coin minigames, whoever wins the minigame gets 10 coins. Second place will get 3, and third will get 2. Stars can be bought for 20 coins, which are counted separately from the coins. To win the game, the player must have the most amount of stars. If 2 players have the same amount of stars, coins will be used as the tiebreaker. At the end of the game, 2 or 3 bonus stars will also be given out. This can range from who had the most minigame coins, who moved the most amount of spaces, who landed on the most red spaces, among plenty other possibilities. Coins can also be used to buy items and pay for other services, such as paying Boo to steal stars or paying Whomp to move. Speaking of the items, a player can hold up to 3 at a time. The variety here is pretty darn good. There's the mushroom, which will add 5 to a player's roll. Then there's the double and triple dice, which will give the characters extra rolls. The skeleton key can open up specific gates. The warp block can swap places with a random opponent. Meanwhile, the super warp block will swap the user's place with an opponent of their choice, and that just scratches the surface. The plunger chest can steal an opponent's item. The golden pipe can transport the player to the star. The boo bell can summon Boo. The chomp call can move the star. The dueling glove can initiate a duel. The cursed dice block can be used on oneself or an opponent so they can only roll a 1, 2, or 3. The items are a very nice way to shake up the gameplay, and they can be used to develop great strategies. It's also possible to get an item bag, which will fill out the user with items. There are several types of spaces that the player can land on. The red and blue spaces are what the players are going to see most. Blue spaces will give the player 3 coins before the final 5 turns and 6 coins after. The red spaces will take those coins away. They're also used to determine what minigame will be played. There are the free-for-all minigames, 2v2 minigames, and the 3v1 minigames. There are several other spaces, such as the lucky spaces, which usually give the player items or coins. Bowser spaces will have the player interact with Bowser, which usually won't work out great for them. Happening spaces are the wild ones that will trigger something that will be board dependent. If one lands on a blue space, there's a small chance that a golden block will appear above their head. This can grant that player some coins or even a star. Dance Time is also back in all of its horror/glory. These involve the players swapping coins or stars, and as a result, a party can literally be turned on top of its head from just one of these. There's also the versus game space, which more or less replaces what the battle spaces were in the older games. Players will have to throw their coins in and participate in a free-for-all minigame. Whoever gets first place will win a lot of the coins. Meanwhile, second place will earn a respectable amount, third place will win close to nothing, and fourth place will actually earn nothing. The banks also return in specific maps. If a player lands on the bank spaces, they will obtain all the coins that have been stored in there. There's also the item space, which will have the player play in a minigame to try to win an item. But none of this matters if the boards aren't fun, and I can say that in my opinion at least, that this lineup is strong. I'll go over Horrorland first because it's one of my favorite boards in the entire franchise. The stage cycles through day and night, and depending on what time of day it is, some things will either work or not work. For example, at night, Whomps can't be moved, but during the daytime, the player can give the Whomps some coins to move. The Boo at the bottom of the map behind the skeleton key will only be awake in the morning. Meanwhile, the other Boos will be awake at night, as well as the big bad boy King Boo. If a happening space is landed on, it will turn from night to day, or vice versa. Kemi can be used to turn day to night. Meanwhile, a Peepa can help the player turn night into day. King Boo can take everyone else's coins for free, or 1 star from everyone for 150 coins. It's a lot of coins, but this could literally be game-changing. My friend actually got to him and stole stars from everyone. The Koopa Bank is also present, as this is a Mario Party 2 map. If the player finds it hard to get around, they can be chased by Mr. I. I also really like the stretch here with the 2 boos. It can lead to some damn strategic plays, as these boos are only available at nighttime, and that pesky whomp can get in the way. I just adore the theme of the stage in general. I like the eerie vibe that it gives off. Throw in the amazing music track, and we have a true one-of-a-kind map here. The other map from Mario Party 2 that appears in this game is Spaceland. Like with Horrorland, I think that this just absolutely nails the theme and the music track. The main gimmick here involves the Thwomp and the Whomp chasers. If a player lands on a happening space, one of these bastards will reveal themselves and chase the players down their path. One of the players can pay the Sniffic Patrol to chase them even further. There are 2 boos located here, with one of them being behind a skeleton key gate. As this is a Mario Party 2 map, the Koopa Bank returns to this map as well. I miss that the characters don't dress up anymore, however. That was such a cute and unique thing that happened in Mario Party 2. Another neat gimmick in this stage is the coin beam. In the center, there will be a countdown from 5. Every time a character passes through the center portion, the count will go down by 1. When the number is 0, Bowser will power up his coin beam, and that will be shot down the entire diagonal section of the map. If a player is in the way, they will get hit and lose all of their coins. Yeah, this is reaching Mario Party 1 levels of brutal right here. This isn't quite Horrorland level in my opinion, but I think this map definitely has a shot for second place. The next map is from Mario Party 3, which is called Woody Woods. The main gimmick here involves these damn Monte Moles changing the direction signs, which will in turn change how the characters move around the map. At the end of every turn, all 3 Monte Moles will change their signs. There are also happening spaces in front of every Monte Mole, and if these are landed on, only that specific Monte Mole will change its sign. Woody himself appears in this stage and will help the player if they land on the happening spaces in front of him. He will either give the player some coins or an additional dice roll. Woody's evil counterpart, Warukio, will more or less do the opposite. The player will either lose coins or roll another dice block, but will have to go backwards this time. The player can pick what fruit they get from either Woody or his evil counterpart by utilizing a Mario Party 3 mechanic called Action Time. The fruit falls slow enough that the player can tilt the control stick in the direction of the fruit that they want. 1 boo is present here at the top of the map, and like Mario Party 2 maps, the Koopa Bank is also present here. There's another Monte Mole that is located about halfway through the map. This guy will offer to change the signs for a small fee. This could be a nice way to screw over opponents that are near stars. I think this is a very solid map to come back to. It was on the upper end of Mario Party 3 maps, at least in my opinion. I also have to add that the music track is quite fun. Up next is Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party 1. In the original Mario Party, I thought that this map was actually one of the weaker ones. Mario Party Superstars fixed this map in 2 major ways. The first one is the fact that the players now have the option to plant a small piranha plant to steal coins, and a big piranha plant to steal stars by landing on the happening spaces. These make the piranha plants overall more useful, and plenty more will be planted throughout the duration of the game. In the original Mario Party, only star-stealing piranha plants could be planted. This made the game actually feel much less interesting because, at least in my experience, nobody really wanted to plant these guys until super late in the party, so a lot of the happening spaces just didn't do anything. The other big thing that changes this map for the better is the fact that the flower lottery is moved after the star. This involves Koopa taking 10 coins from the player and in return, giving them a flower seed. If the seed is a regular flower, the player can move around the board just normally. If the result is a Bowser flower though, the player will have to take the alternate route with Bowser along the path. You see, in the original, the flower lottery was before the star, which was way too damn brutal. That's also not to mention, one could get Bowser twice or more in a row, and just get double screwed before even seeing the star in the first place. It played along well with the original Mario Party's mentality of, screw you, but it's simply pulled off much better here. In fact, if one has the coins, going to Bowser could be considered actually helpful. The player will lose up to 20 coins from Bowser and 10 from the lottery, but it will exit them closer to the star. So if one can pony up the coins, it could be argued that the path with Bowser can actually be better than the normal route. This map also has a unique feel of Toadette not moving whatsoever. She stays in the same spot the entire game. This went from one of my least favorite boards in the original Mario Party to being a solid board that is in regular rotation in Mario Party Superstars. Alright, enough of the praises. Now we get to my least favorite board in Mario Party Superstars, Yoshi's Tropical Island. This is also a Mario Party 1 map, and boy, this was up there for my least favorite. The main gimmick here is that happening spaces will switch the spots with Bowser and Toadette. A cheap chomp will swallow Toadette and transport her across the map. This is so annoying when you get very close to the star. Like in Peach's birthday cake, the player that reaches Bowser will lose up to 20 coins. Sometimes Bowser will give the player an item, like a reverse block. Other times he'll give the player a Bowser tube, which will explode around the player. There are 2 thwomps on the bridges that connect the 2 sides of the island. The player can give them coins to get through. That's really all I got for this map. It just isn't that fun to play in my opinion. Bowser and Toadette frequently moving is just frustrating, and there are really no other gimmicks to help the map out. I just want to note a couple more things about the maps before we move on to the other stuff in the game. The HE up level helps all these maps considerably. The art direction is just so clean for this game. If I had to pick one, I think that Peach's birthday cake is the one that benefits from the graphical leap the most. The frosting looks so good. I love how there's a wafer bridge that connects the starting area to the board as well. I also want to compliment the fact that the boards kept the same mechanics as the map's original game. In both Peach's Cake and Yoshi's Island, Koopa Troopa appears at the start of the board and gives the player 10 coins as they pass him. Bowser also appears on the map itself outside of the Bowser spaces, just like in those brutal Mario Party 1 days. The Koopa Bank is present in all Mario Party 2 and 3 maps. The Action Time command also appears in Woody Woods, which is a Mario Party 3 map. This mechanic was present in all Mario Party 3 maps. Item shops have also been added to the original Mario Party maps as well. This is noteworthy because the original Mario Party didn't actually have any items at all. I love how Cube modernized the maps and kept them nostalgic at the same time. There's an option to play the original music tracks for all the boards. Since I am blinded by nostalgia, this is very welcome. This comes with an unfortunate drawback though. During the final 5 turns, the music ramps up a bit, but this only happens when one has selected the modern tracks. One can use the classic tracks until the last 5 turns, back out to the option house and switch it to the modern one, but that's a bit cumbersome. I'm reaching for a complaint though at this point, aren't I? The Peach's Birthday Cake Homestretch one is amazing in particular. Speaking of the last 5 turns, the mechanics from the original games return, in a way. Blue and red spaces will give or take double coins. The bank will take 5 coins away when passed instead of just 3. If a player happens to land on the same space that another player is already on, a duel will commence. And, of course, the game will pick what player will win. They will be given either an item or some coins. It should also be noted that the bonus stars can either be completely random, or if one wants, they can set it to what the bonus stars were in the original Mario Party games. Those 3 stars are winning the most coins in minigames, holding the most coins at a time, and landing on the most happening spaces. So that's mostly it for the Mario Party mode, and that's the game's main course. However, the game touts itself as having 100 minigames, but in actuality, there are 105. There are some damn classics in here as well. Book Squirt, Mushroom Mix-Up, Trace Race, Crazy Cutters, Facelift, Bombs Away, Shell Shock, Speed Hockey, Cake Factory, Snowball Summit, Eats a Pizza, Pushy Penguins, Painting Misbehave, and the final countdown. I think the selection here is much better than Mario Party in the top 100. Another neat thing about these minigames is the fact that the fanfare for winning one matches the game that it originally came from. I played a lot of the first 3 games when I was younger, so hearing those fanfares like when we win is a huge nostalgic throwback.
Winner! Winner! Yeah! Winners! Yeah! Winner!
There are some other minigames that don't appear on the boards. These can be reached by going to Mount Minigames. The puzzle section in particular is pretty fun. These minigames get really brutal in the later rounds. I was playing Stick and Spin for a bit to try to get to level 100, and I had to tap out around like 50-something. Other puzzle-like minigames such as Mario's Puzzle Party can be played with altered rules. There are some other modes one can play such as duos and trios. These are pretty fun, but nothing too mind-blowing. There are a couple modes that will require the person to connect to the internet. Speaking of which, I refuse to pay for Nintendo's horrible online service, so I can't say too much about it. I've heard pretty positive things, and it's nice that every mode is available online. It took Super Mario Party literal years to do that. I'm gonna jump into some positives now. I absolutely love how nostalgic the game is. The first thing that you'll see after getting past the title screen is the Village Square. The name might not ring a bell for all the Mario Party players because it's been changed, but with a single look, this melts in my heart. This is the Mushroom Village that was in the original game. The buildings may have switched around a bit, but the overall layout is virtually the same. If one wants to start a party, they have to head down the pipe just like in the original. The Mushroom Shop and the Option House are still here, with remixed music for each. The new Friend House and Data House are in place of the Mushroom Bank and the Minigame House respectively. The raft that took players to the Minigame Island in the original was also replaced by a boat that will lead players to Mount Minigames. I love the attention to detail here. All that one has to do is place the photos side by side of each one. As someone whose favorite Mario Party is the original, and listen man, we're a small breed, that is something that I really enjoy. Another positive is, well, the gameplay itself. It is extremely satisfying to go back to dice rolls that are 1 through 10. The boards that returned are mostly fantastic. Like I said before, Horrorland is one of my favorite boards in the franchise. Spaceland is also a very solid Mario Party 2 map. Peach's Birthday Cake had glaring issues in the original, but now I think it's a very solid board. Woody Woods is a very fun map to play on as well. Combine that with mostly solid mini-games, this really might be the best that Mario Party has ever been. I haven't even talked about the fact that stickers can be spammed. The stickers are such fun, a cute way to communicate with others. It's also something that one can do during the opponent's turn to keep them entertained. Speaking of opponent's turns, the AI's turns are sped up significantly. If they're going to participate in something that the human players aren't involved in, like an item minigame or an AI-only duel, the game will skip the minigame altogether and just show the results. These things usually keep me engaged during others' turns. Another thing that I really like is the fact that turns can be added during a party. Up to 30 turns can be selected, which is fine by me. I remember my brothers and I playing some 50-turn parties from time to time back in the day, but they dragged on a bit. 30 is about the longest that I really want to go for a single Mario Party anymore. When I was playing with my friend in Horrorland, we originally only did 20 turns. However, he really wanted a couple extra turns to get to King Boo. We were given the option to go up to 25 or 30. We decided to yeet it and stayed up all night. Up until 3 in the morning, I think it was, so we decided to go for 30 turns. This is such a great feature. Parties can be as short as 10 turns, and can be increased by increments of 5 until 30. I love the different feel between a short and long party. A long party will have me making decisions that have the long game in mind. Meanwhile, a short party will have me trying to get stars uber quick above all else. Did I mention that up to 10 parties can be saved at once? I will never need to have that many in reserve, but it sure is amazing to have the option. It was always a bit heartbreaking to erase a party that I was planning on finishing with a friend at a later date for my brothers. It wouldn't exactly be fair to have that for a couple weeks when only one party can be reserved. There are a couple issues with the game, though. Everybody else has brought it up at this point, so I must. Why are there only 5 boards? The golden standard of the franchise is 6, and the first game had 8. Yes, they were varying quality in the first game, but when the number of maps is so low, it makes stinkers stand out that much more. I would say that 4 of the boards in the original Mario Party are kind of garbage, but that still leaves 4 of the boards that are still fun to me. Don't get me wrong, I made it clear by now that I love 4 of the 5 maps. However, I'm not a huge fan of Yoshi's Tropical Island. This effectively means that there are only 4 boards that we actually want to play for my brother and I. I won't lie, we played the ever-loving hell out of this game so far. We already put a good 30 hours or so into this. The repetition of the boards is starting to kick in a bit already. If there were just 1 or 2 more solid maps in there, I honestly think that the game would be golden. Imagine Bowser Land or Pirate Land from Mario Party 2, or Luigi's Engine Room or DK's Jungle Adventure from the original, or how about Waluigi's Island or Deep Blooper Sea from Mario Party 3. Really having any one of these would be so exciting. Though it could be argued that once my brother and I stop playing this every damn day for hours on end, 4 very solid boards might be enough for some solid longevity. Meanwhile, I mostly love the minigame selection. There are some serious omissions here in my opinion. Some that come to my mind are Grab Bag, Day at the Races, Eyesore, Lava Tile Isle, Platform Peril, Lights Out, Bombskaball, and my personal favorite Mario Party minigame of all time, Running of the Bulb. I guess to be fair though, literally anyone could probably make this argument regardless of what minigames are actually included. Everyone is different, so any selection of 100 minigames will disappoint someone. I will say though, this is a much better selection of 100 minigames than what Mario Party the Top 100 had. A much smaller and on-the-side complaint, as not many people are going to care about this, is considering the roster. I really miss the what the hell picks. There are only 10 characters, that's just so predictable. The original 8 that were Mario Party 3, as well as Rosalina and Birdo. Remember when Blooper was in Mario Party 8? Or when Koopa Kid was playable in Mario Party 5 and 6? What about Goomba in Super Mario Party? It feels like I'm restricted to just Yoshi, Luigi, and Waluigi, which is kinda lame. The last complaint that I could think of is, listen, I know that it's Mario Party, and it's supposed to be multiplayer-centric and all, but I kind of miss the single-player offerings. I was a bit disappointed that the Mount Minigame Boat didn't take the player to a single-player-centric adventure. I know for many that the Minigame Island in the original Mario Party and the Minigame Coaster in Mario Party 2 were just kind of throwaways, but I like something dumb like that. It's something to work towards, just something to do for a few hours. Sometimes the minigames had certain objectives to it too, instead of just win it. The showdown against Toad and Slot Car Derby in the original, and the Koopa Kids and Shell Shock in Mario Party 2, those were genuinely fun and unexpected. On the topic of Koopa Kid, where the hell are they? I miss them. Bowser Jr. is super annoying. I don't like his voice at all. Okay, I'll stop with the negatives, because now I'm just nitpicking. It should be noted that the coins that are collected from the Mario Party will go into the player's total. Stars will also be transformed into coins, and if you're the winner of the board, you'll get a winner's bonus. Things such as stickers, encyclopedia entries, music tracks, and Mario Party card backgrounds can be unlocked. I really like the encyclopedia entries, though they are rather short. With a bit more meat to them and a few more entries, it kind of felt like the trophies in the Super Smash Bros. Series, kind of like a museum of the franchise as a whole. it was still great fun unlocking entries every 10 levels and buying them all. I'm sadly already level 99, and I've come very close to buying everything. I desperately hope more gets added to this game over time, because my time with this game has just been an absolute blast. It should also be noted that there are achievements. These are fun little things to go after, until I saw that some of them are online ones. Damn it, Nintendo, you also did that with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Even without these, some of these are just so brutal. The puzzle ones in particular are the ones I just want to signal out. Like getting to level 100 in Stick and Spin, getting 600 points of Mario Puzzle Party in just 3 minutes. These are genuinely tough. And I looked online to see if I'm alone in this, and trust me, I'm not. Some were saying that it took them up to 8 hours to get to Stick and Spin one. Maybe if one is like the completionist and just has to complete all these, they can be considered a detriment. If one just wants to, knock them out casually, then I would say that these are a great addition. Why aren't achievements a whole Switch thing yet, like on the Xbox or your PlayStation trophies? I've always wondered that. So that, more or less, is Mario Party Superstars. It is a return to form in the truest of senses. We're given boards and minigames from back in the day, and they play, sound, and look as good as ever. If we're talking in terms of Mario Party mode exclusively, this is probably the best the franchise has ever been. Between the strong maps and minigames, this is such a great time with friends and family. The progression system is pretty fun too. I like how minigames aren't hidden behind these, and they can be played right from the get-go. Filling out the music, stickers, and encyclopedia entries is still a lot of fun. The single-player content is definitely lacking a bit, even for this multiplayer-centric series. It can also be argued that an extra board or two would have gone a long way for its longevity. I still adore Mario Party Superstars, and it's still definitely one of my favorite games of the year. This takes me back to when I was a wee lad playing the original 2 Mario Parties with my friends and family. This gets a solid 6 out of 7 from me. With an extra board or two, along with some single-player incentive to play, maybe it would have gone for the full 7.